Morris, oh my gosh, I mean, come on. Big tobacco haven't we had enough of big tobacco?
Imagine you're hired to work in a top position for a company that leads its industry. It's a high-paying job, assuming you continue to keep up sales, but selling your product is becoming increasingly difficult. The product your company sells is harmful to the people who use it and to those around them. While you knew your product was harmful all along, you did your best to hide that information from the public. But now, the court claims that by hiding evidence about your product, you have deceived and misled Americans. What would you do? Would you admit your mistake, close down your company, or would you continue to practice the same business strategies that have allowed your company to thrive for the past half century? This is the current situation of Philip Morris. Philip Morris has been the tobacco industry leader for the past 25 years. The company owns many popular cigarette brands, including Marlboro, Virginia Slim, Chesterfield, Parliament, L&M. In fact, Marlboro is the top-selling cigarette in America and internationally. Now, we all grew up in a time when schools taught us the harmful effects of cigarettes from an early age. So it's difficult to imagine that cigarettes were originally advertised as having favorable effects on the nervous system, respiratory system, and digestive system. But since Surgeon General Luther L. Terry examined the possible effects of smoking in the 1960s, cigarette manufacturers have been required to place a health warning on each pack of cigarettes. The required Surgeon General's warning had little effect on the industry's income, though, as sales continued to boom through the 1970s and 80s. But the 1990s brought a slew of litigations against Philip Morris and its competitors. Individual states brought cigarette companies to court, demanding monetary assistance for the thousands of citizens who developed tobacco-related illnesses under the impression that cigarettes were not harmful to their health. Mississippi, Texas, Michigan, and Florida reached settlements in which companies like Philip Morris agreed to assume responsibility for its several decade-long deception by paying millions of dollars for tobacco-related medical bills. In 1998, Philip Morris reached a settlement with the 46 states it had not already seen in court. The Master Settlement Agreement required cigarette companies to pay $206 billion over the next 25 years to help states cover the treatment of smoking-related illnesses. The settlement also required tobacco companies to cease advertising to youth and to donate considerable time and money towards youth smoking prevention programs. Lastly, the settlement placed several advertising restrictions on cigarette companies, including the ban of cigarette advertisements from billboards and transit. Cigarette sales have struggled since the public settlement, but Philip Morris has relentlessly sought to revive its reputation. Around the same time as the Master Settlement Agreement, Philip Morris launched an image makeover campaign, which they called PM21. The company's research revealed that messages about charitable contributions had the biggest effect on favorability ratings. Determined to fix its tarnished image, the company launched a philanthropy campaign that made Philip Morris the third largest United States corporate giver in 2005. While cigarette sales continued to flounder, surveys and polls found that the philanthropic work did in fact help Philip Morris's image. A Roper Starch poll revealed that the percentage of Americans who believed that Philip Morris was becoming a more responsible corporate citizen rose from 39% to 61% in just 1 year. Philip Morris was succeeding in gaining back its credibility as the philanthropy initiative brought negative attention away from the cigarette litigations and towards the positive charitable work. But the company's favorable image did not last for long. In 2006, Philip Morris went back to court regarding the advertising and sales of light or low tar cigarettes. The Supreme Court found that cigarette companies had again deceived the American public by advertising light cigarettes as healthier than their full flavor counterparts. In addition to paying a sum of money for its deception, Philip Morris must redesign packages, as the terms light and low tar will be banned from cigarettes starting this summer. Again, Philip Morris has thrown itself into philanthropic work since the 2006 court case. This time, Philip Morris took it a step further, recently partnering with the Food and Drug Administration. While many say the partnership is an indication of Philip Morris's sudden commitment to public health, critics believe it is merely a public relations strategy designed to again recover the company's image. In terms of ethics, Philip Morris demonstrates how good business practices can be used for questionable aims, as it has built a successful empire on a harmful product. Earlier, I asked each of you to imagine being put in a managerial position within Philip Morris, but the truth is, we will not likely get the opportunity to run that company. Instead, it is our responsibility to educate the public about Philip Morris so that the cycle of deception and reputation revival is unable to continue.